On April 5, 1945, the Soviet Union intensified its bombardment of Königsberg, East Prussia, after 5 days of relentless artillery shelling. A break in the weather enabled Soviet aircraft to join the assault, overwhelming German defenses that had already been critically weakened. Königsberg, a historic German city where kings were crowned and the philosopher Immanuel Kant spent his life, held immense strategic and symbolic value. Its fall would mark a significant Soviet victory and deal a devastating blow to German morale. The siege of Königsberg began in late January 1945 when Soviet forces encircled the city as part of their East Prussian offensive. By this time, Königsberg lay hundreds of kilometers behind the main front line, with the Soviets focused on advancing toward Berlin. Despite being encircled, Königsberg's extensive fortifications, built in 1888 to resist superguns, presented a formidable challenge. The city boasted an intricate network of tunnels and bunkers, making it one of Hitler's most defensible fortresses. Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin had already declared his intent to annex Königsberg during the 1943 Tehran Conference. However, for the troops under General Ivan Chernyakhovsky, the prospect of conquering the city seemed distant at the outset of the siege. It would take over 2 months of careful planning and relentless combat to achieve victory. On April 6, 1945, the Soviets launched a coordinated assault on Königsberg, supported by heavy artillery and airstrikes. Soviet troops bypassed heavily fortified German positions, encircling them to leave rearguard forces to handle resistance. By April 7th, the Soviets began attacking forts 5 and 8 with sappers sent to breach the walls. German forces, under General Otto Lasch, fought fiercely for every inch of the city, adhering to Hitler's orders to defend it to the last soldier. The battle reached its climax on April 8th, when a German breakout attempt failed, trapping 40,000 German troops in the city center. Against Hitler's orders, General Lasch surrendered to Soviet Marshal Alexander Vasilevsky on April 9, 1945. The cost of the battle was staggering. 50,000 German soldiers were killed, 80,000 were captured, and 200,000 civilians fled the city. Soviet losses were equally severe, with 60,000 troops killed or wounded, including 3,700 casualties during the final assault. Königsberg's capture solidified Soviet control over East Prussia, fulfilling Stalin's territorial ambitions and serving as a prelude to the Red Army's final push toward Berlin. The city was later renamed Kaliningrad and remains a part of Russia today.